Hello to all of my friends out there in YouTube land. It's your good buddy Philtastic here. And welcome back to the channel as I get ready to record here. So this is a really cool unboxing today. I think they're all cool, but you know, I could be wrong. This is actually a Kickstarter that I received from the one, the only Brian LCS, a great member of this community. I started opening it already because I was going to do this video a little bit differently, and I kind of stopped. But a couple things make this great. First of all, Brian's, again, a great guy in the community. You know, when I have like friends on the YouTube world, I always look at it like, you know, I almost wish we can have like a big party. Who would we invite? And Brian would be one of those people at the top of the list. Is he the one at the top of the list? Probably. I can't say one way or another, to be honest with you, but Brian's definitely like one of the first invites we get out. But this is cool for another reason too. This is his book, The Doctor, issue number 2. And in case you didn't know, I drew cover A of The Doctor, the main cover. And that looks just like this. This is it. This is me, my work. And a couple of interesting kind of tidbits with that. So when Brian first reached out to me and said, hey, I want you to do a cover for The Doctor. Are you able to do it? I'm paraphrasing. I said, sure. He wanted to do an homage cover. I'm not the biggest fan of homage covers, to be honest with you. I think it's the kind of thing that when they first came out, they were interesting, and then you just kind of saw them slowly get more derivative and more derivative. And now it's like, oh, okay, you're doing Amazing Spider-Man 300 again. That being said, I knew what Brian was asking for, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do my best. And I didn't want to do a direct, like, hey, this is this, and this is that. And this part I didn't even tell Brian. So I had asked him about the character on this cover, because Brian said this is the debut of this character whose name escapes me, and he's a villain. He's the villain, I think. And I remember asking, he had sent me like a simple kind of like an AI drawing of what he was looking for. And no, he didn't use AI for any of this, and I applaud him on that, because fuck AI. Excuse my language. Hashtag fuck AI for entry into the Are We There Yet? Never Ending Story Road to a 1K giveaway. Anyway, sorry about the language. Anyway, he told me a little bit about the powers, and I think there was some sort of element of mind control. I did this a while ago, to be honest with you. So I was thinking, okay, this is probably coming out during the summer. What's the big movie coming out this summer? This is really before the hype train started building up for Superman. But Fantastic Four came to mind. One of the Fantastic Four characters that I think has been kind of teased in the past, but we've never seen, has been the Puppeteer. So I can't remember the exact issue number, but I was like, you know what? Let me do that creepy kind of Puppeteer pose. So that's a very loose homage to that, but there's another kind of element to that, and that you probably see more in this. This is the original cover that I had drawn for it. And then I was like, you know what? I want to do something more out there, more attention grabbing. So I was like, you know, I want to do a Frank Miller tribute. But I don't want the classic Frank Miller. I want to do the more recent covers that, shall we say, have not been as well received as the Frank Miller that we know. And I started doing the ones that were not as well received, and I was like, I don't like this. This is why nobody's been doing this. Because I was like, look, it's one thing if you're going to do homage, but you got to do something good. Because if it's not good, what are you doing in the end? So I adjusted it a bit, and I tried to do kind of like a Sin City effect, especially with the rain and whatnot. And I'm proud of how it came out. Now, fun fact here about the stuff, this black space here, which, by the way, is perfect for signing, which Brian asked me to sign a book and send it back, or send it to another member of the community, which I'll be doing shortly. Initially, this space was not blank. This character, if I remember correctly, part of his power set has something to do with rats. So I started doing some rats, and I was getting some really nice textures as far as the fur go and whatnot. Here's something I've never said online, really. I hate rodents. You know, they're like, me to rodents is what snakes are to Indiana Jones. I hate them. I hate them. All rodents, mice, rats, the what's that South American animal? I'm probably just going to mispronounce it. Caponero, that people think are cute for some reason. They're giant rats, and I hate them. Long story short, I had a friend. I have a friend. He's still a good friend. I don't know why I said had, but we were roommates in college, and at the one point he was thinking about pursuing a career in being a vet, and he had a lot of animals. Okay, we're talking a frog that ate mice, which was interesting to see, but the one party we had at the apartment and actually had women show up because I wasn't the biggest ladies man. He was like, "Hey girls, you want to see a frog eat a mouse?" I'm not saying that we were going to be like, you know, doing well that night, but any chance, just like, but I digress. Ferrets, which are terrible creatures, and he had a rat. There's another disgusting story about the mice, but we'll save that for another day. Anyway, I started drawing the rats, getting some nice textures with the hair, and I was getting visibly like physically sick and nauseous from it. To the point I was like, I can't do this. And I sent what I had to Brian. I was like, fun fact, this is what I was going to try to do. Couldn't do it. Made me sick to my stomach. And he was like, more than happy with this anyway. So regardless, this is a cool cover. Comes with a coaster. And I also got the cover B. Cover B is from Aaron and Rad Comics and Art, who I still think of as Norin Rad, by the way. He's a great artist, by the way, who I feel like does not really, in my humble opinion, get enough recognition in the community. I'd love to see him in the C3 art book. I guess he's not in year 2, but year 3, come on, you got to do it, guys. And I don't mean to sound too aggressive, but I don't want to tell people what to do, but you got to get this guy's work out there. Comes with some stickers. Not a big sticker guy. Nothing like the sticker people controversy, that garbage, but I'm just not into stickers. This is a cool, I think this is supposed to be a Doctor Strange homage, yeah, like that. So this is very cool. And you know, the thing about Kickstarter is I order them and I was like, I don't remember what else came with mine. So I got some blank covers, which hopefully I'll do some artwork on at some point. I owe some people blank covers that I've been working on very diligently, and the problem is fear, but we're going to get into that in a different video. And 2 other copies. We'll see if my parents want these. I should have gotten a 3rd one, now that I think about it, for my in-laws, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm really happy with that cover. I have another cover here to sign for another member of the community, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. I hope that you liked my cover, and I hope that you like Brian's book. I don't know if he's still taking orders on Kickstarter, but hey, if you haven't done so already, this is your wake-up call. Go and reach out to Brian and get The Doctor, issue 2. Get both covers. In fact, you know what? Get multiple copies of both covers. One set for you and one set for a friend or a random stranger. That's how you make. One thing I forgot to share, by the way, Brian had, when we worked on The Doctor, he said, hey, can you send me a bio? And I don't remember if he got me in the middle of the night or if I was just like really punchy or exhausted that day. 2 small children do that to you. I was like, all right. And I had a good time with the bio. I went in my book looking for this bio and I couldn't find it. And he's like, oh, no, it's just on the Kickstarter. I implore you, go ahead and look on the Kickstarter for that bio, because I think it's pretty hilarious. I'll put it up here too, just so you know. And hey, let me know if you agree with me that it's hilarious, or if you're like, you're a weirdo. Take care. Thank you again for watching. I hope that you had a great time. Thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notifications, all that fun stuff. But most of all, people, I hope that you have a great day. Peace, love, and comics. Take care.